everyone! Welcome to Teas Around the World. My name is Robin.
My name is April.
And today we're going to do a bit of a deep dive. We're going to be talking about jasmine tea. So we're going to talk about first how it's produced and then how you can enjoy it. Because actually the production of making a scented tea is very fascinating, very complex and intensive.
So Robin, when you said the jasmine tea, is it actually this yellow jasmine that we see down here in Georgia?
That's a great question. So you might be familiar with the yellow jasmine vine. That it's a native plant to Georgia actually, but it is a different flower. And the yellow jasmine is poisonous. So please do not make a tea out of it and do not drink it. The jasmine that's used for jasmine tea is a white flower. It grows on a small tree and it is not native to around here, so you will not generally see it. They're both beautiful, but only one is right for tea.
So where did this blend actually originate?
Good question. So jasmine tea comes from China and it originated there over 1,000 years ago. But the best ones today are made in the Fujian province because it's a coastal area, so it's got a warm, wet climate and it's perfect for growing the leaves, the tea leaves, and also the jasmine blossoms. And jasmine tea is a scented tea rather than a flavored tea. So the idea is just to capture the scent of the flowers in the tea, but not the flavor. So if you are trying to pick between a tea that has the blossoms in it or the blossoms without, even though it might seem more fancy to have the flowers, choose the one without because the flowers are bitter. And so the higher quality tea won't have those flowers. That's just a pro tip.
So with that in mind, how is it actually produced?
That's what makes jasmine tea so interesting, I think. So to make a scented tea like jasmine tea, what you need to do first is harvest the tea leaves. So the workers will harvest the tea leaves and let them dry. And then they'll have to hand pick thousands upon thousands of jasmine blossoms and mix them in with the tea leaves in the drying area. So they have to rotate them so nothing gets too hot or soggy at the bottom and everything can dry. And as the jasmine flowers open, they release their scent and it gets mixed in with the leaves. So then after that, there's several ways that production can either continue or end. So they can leave the flowers in and sell the tea as is, or they can remove the flowers and then sell it. Or there's even more options. They can decide to repeat the process again, once or even twice. So it could take up to, let's see, if the drying process takes 3 to 5 days, it could take up to 15 days to make 1 cup of tea. Finally, if they've repeated the process, they then remove the flowers and they may sell it as is, or again, to lock in the flavor, they might roll it into little balls called pearls. And so you may see pearled tea, pearl jasmine tea, and that's a very high quality tea.
That was really interesting. So how do we actually brew the jasmine tea?
Okay, so my first tip to you is don't use boiling water. Instead, you're going to want to use water that's about 40 degrees cooler, so about 170 or 180 degrees. And the reason is because if you brew the tea with the very hot boiling water, you're not going to have as much control over the brew. So the tea leaves are going to steep quicker and you'll have less time to take it out at the perfect moment. If you're using tea leaves, you just want to take a big pinch and put it in your little strainer like this and go ahead and put it in your teapot. But we're going to be using tea bags today. So April, could you pass them?
Yeah.
Thank you. And I will pour some water.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you.
And another way that you can control the taste of your brew is your steep time. So I like to steep my tea for just a very short amount of time, about 5 or 10 seconds. And this means that I get a very light and floral brew. People who like a stronger, more earthy green tea taste can brew it for longer, even up to 5 minutes if you want to. So I just dunk it in, and you can watch, you can literally see the color coming out of it as you do, so that helps you know when to take it out. And that's just one way that you can control the bitterness. Another way that people do that is with sugar or honey, or you can just make it into an iced tea with lemon and mint, and that will really bring down the bitterness as well. So, we've let our tea steep, and I want to show you the difference that the timing has made. So over here you can see my tea that I only steeped for about 5 to 10 seconds is a very light color. And this is April's tea, and you can see that it's a deeper hue because she let it steep for about 2 minutes. So now let's taste the difference.
Okay.
What do you taste?
I do get that lovely floral aroma when you first bring the cup up to your mouth, but I do have that bitter and dry texture that we like with green teas.
Right.
Why exactly is it so bitter?
Right, so it is a green tea. Jasmine has a green tea base, and so since green tea has so many antioxidants and even a bit of caffeine, it's going to taste bitter. And so that's why people might use the sweeteners or make it into an iced tea to take the bitterness off. I just like to use the shorter brewing time as a technique instead, because I like to make sure that I get the smell of the jasmine as well as the taste of the tea. So it's just a matter of personal taste, and you can experiment to find out what you like best. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Teas Around the World. You can check out the links below for books about the history of tea that you can find at the library, or you can check out the link for the question form if you want to know something that we didn't get to. Come back next week to learn about tea drinking customs in Russia. Till next tea time, bye!